Hello, friends. I don't know about you, but my favorite US president is President Bill Clinton. President Bill Clinton. He was being interviewed by the daughter of George W. Bush, Jenna Bush Hager, I believe. And she was doing this for the celebration of the 250th birthday of America. She actually interviewed all four living US presidents. So Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Joe Biden. And I've seen some of their videos, some of the interviews, but my favorite one is the story of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was talking about when he was going to the White House, when he won the election in 1993. And this is a US tradition. This is a tradition that has been done for 250 years. So basically, the tradition is the outgoing president would write a letter for the incoming president. So George H.W. Bush wrote a letter for Bill Clinton, and George H.W. Bush was basically talking about the fact that it was a very tough campaign. I remember the campaign because I was paying attention, and it was very tough. It was a very tough campaign, and I think I think the only reason, maybe not the only reason, but to me the only reason Bill Clinton actually won the election is because Bill Clinton had this amazing catchphrase. It's the economy, stupid. I think that is why he won that election. But also, Bill Clinton was a better debater. Like, Bill Clinton had better answers. He was much more charismatic than H.W. Bush. But in this letter, H.W. Bush said, even though it was a tough campaign, you won this election, and now you are the president of everybody. You are my president now. And Bill Clinton was really talking about this letter. He really loves this letter. He still has this letter framed, and he always goes back to the letter, you know. And that is basically why I love Bill Clinton as the president, because he's such a fantastic guy. He's such an amazing guy, and he wrote the same letter. He said he wrote almost the same letter when George Bush was coming in. It's something U.S. presidents do. You give them you give the new president some advice. You know, give them hope that they could lead the country in a good way. And it's a really good interview. I really like it. With George W. Bush, when he was interviewed, he talked about the fact that he loves his relationship with Michelle Obama. Like, they have this amazing relationship, this friendship relationship, really fantastic. They met at the funeral for Jimmy Carter, and they were, at the funeral, they were, talking to each other, and the camera picked up on that, and they posted that on the internet, and the internet fell in love. The internet fell in love with this odd couple relationship with Michelle Obama and George W. Bush. And so the internet went crazy. And George W. Bush was telling the story where somebody came up to him and said, "Hey, do you know you're trending? Do you know you're trending online?" And George W. Bush was like, "I don't even know what trending meant." It's fantastic. But to go back to Bill Clinton, the reason why I really like Bill Clinton is because, first of all, Bill Clinton, he won a great election, I believe. Like it was a great election, but he actually created the most jobs of all U.S. president. He created more jobs than Barack Obama. He created more jobs than Joe Biden, you know, and he actually saved America money. Like he actually reduced the deficit when he was president. I believe he signed a bill which actually reduced the deficit, and that is why he's such a great president. Because he actually worked hard to help the everyday American. He got them jobs, and he lowered the deficit. The great thing that Barack Obama did is Barack Obama, came up with his ACA, the Affordable Care Act, and that gave health care to many more millions of Americans who would not have gotten health care if it wasn't for the ACA. But still, I go back to Bill Clinton because I think Bill Clinton, I wish that Bill Clinton had won the Nobel Peace Prize for reducing the deficit in America. But I think the Nobel Peace Prize is for something that resonates with everybody around the world. So the deficit in America does not really, uh, uh, actually, it doesn't really make sense to people in Norway. So maybe that's why he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize for that. But still, Bill Clinton is my favorite U.S. president. Meanwhile, in today's White House, we have dumb Donald Trump sleeping in the Oval Office in front of video cameras. Now, can we stop saying sleepy Joe Biden? Can we stop saying that? Because we actually have video evidence of dumb Donald Trump sleeping on the job. He's sleeping on the job. He's sleeping on the job, but they still want to call Joe Biden sleepy Joe Biden. It's crazy. There is no evidence that Joe Biden actually slept on the job. There is no single video evidence. But we have video evidence of dumb Donald Trump sleeping on the job. And stupid Donald Trump, he is still so upset with losing the 2020 election, so much that now he wants the 2020 election result to be wiped clean from the books. He was at 3 o'clock in the morning on his stupid social media, whatever, crying about the 2020 election. He wants it to be wiped clean from the books. I don't know what that means, but again, stupid Donald Trump is the idiot sleeping on the job. And so it's not Joe Biden. It's not Joe Biden. It's stupid Donald Trump. But it's another story for stupid Donald Trump. We all have to wait and see. Thank you very much.